live right now. I was checking on my phone because there are points where I forgot to hit that I'm live, and then I'm 10 minutes into this live. Great. We are live right now, so fantastic. For whatever reason, it did not let me tag everybody, but Samantha, I'm just live with you right now apparently, but that is okay. I will fix it.
I accepted the tag.
I will fix it as we go through this thing. So good morning, everybody. This is our 4th jam session for DuPage Real Producers. Just thank you for our participants who will introduce themselves very shortly, just for carving the hour out. The market's insane, and these are individuals on here who just want to obviously sharpen themselves, but just give back to the community. I mean, they technically could be doing direct income generating activity. So I appreciate them carving the hour out just to pour into one another, sharpen each other, scratch each other's backs, all the cliches that go on with collaboration. So I'm very grateful to be sharing the screen with everybody. And it's been an honor to get these going in DuPage, just as as the market has shifted and spring has taken over. So I'm going to allow very briefly the realtors to introduce themselves. We've been through a lot in the last 10, 12, 13, 14 months. At this point, I think last year, this was like freak out mode. People didn't know the years that they were going to have. Am I going to have to find another part-time job? I was thinking that. I didn't know. And just the blessing of Zoom and technology, thank God for it, because it's just, you can connect people very quickly. Obviously, there will be nothing that replaces having food and having drinks and just, talking, shaking hands, hugging one another in person, which God willing will be soon. But you can still interact, and that's the thing that I love about these. So we have a great lineup this morning. So I'm going to shut up, let the realtors introduce themselves really quick, and then a lot of the partners introduce themselves, and then we're going to start jamming. So Maureen, please, why don't you kick us off and introduce yourself?
Thanks, Andy. Hi, I'm Maureen Rooney. I am with Quaid & Rooney. We're a Keller Williams team. Kathy Quaid is my partner. I've been in business for 16 years, and Kathy and I have partnered in 2010. So we've been together for 11 years. Thanks for having me today.
Hi, I'm Gail Niermeyer. I'm with Coldwell Banker Realty. We changed our name recently in Naperville, and I'm a 32-year veteran.
Oh, wow.
Hey, everyone. I'm Sam Bauman. I'm with Berkshire Hathaway Chicago Wheaton office. I guess I'm a newbie here. I'm 5 years, just getting into my 5th year in real estate.
Hi, everybody. My name is Kris Maranda. I am with Ed Properties. I have my own team, Maranda Real Estate Group, almost 20 years in business. It's been a blessing, and thanks for having me in this session.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jackie Angiello. I'm with Realty Executives Premier in Wheaton. I've been in the business for 8.5 years, and I work with my mom, Diana Hardeck, and we're in the works of officially solidifying and calling ourselves a team, and that'll be the Angiello Hardeck Group.
I was going to ask you what the official name was, but you answered it for me. So
yes, currently just officially me, but yeah, it's in the works.
No, it's great. Well, I will say this before I allow the partners to introduce themselves. I mean, people love our platform, people love our events, all the virtual stuff that we've been putting on. We actually launched an app in the summer last year, just because when the events were going to be postponed, we found out, at least large events. I had other stuff to tinker, and so we sunk a chunk of change into that. But I will tell you right now, people who know me know that I do not take myself seriously, but I take my work seriously. And I cannot do what I do without our partners. I mean, literally, this is who floats us. Loyal businesses like the people who are going to introduce themselves right now. So I'm going to give our partners and our supporters a chance to introduce themselves, and then we're going to start talking shop. So Janelle, why don't you kick us off?
Hi, everyone. I'm Janelle, known as the Bug Girl in Chicago, and I worked for Rose Pest Solutions now for 16 years. I just had my anniversary this week. We have 11 locations. We're all over DuPage County. We have an office in Lombard. So we're here as a resource.
Next there. Yeah.
That doesn't matter. Sure.
Hi, everyone. My name's Gary from Bella Cleaning. We've been around since 1960, and We'd love to help you guys. We work all over Chicagoland with your clients, help your clients, and you with our cleaning services, which you can look up online. We do commercial, residential, and it's great to meet all of you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Woytec. I'm with the Elite Inspections. We're doing home inspections. We're located in Schaumburg. We're on the border in Cook and DuPage. And then that's it.
That's perfect. Beautiful. And that's it. So this is where I get out of the way. I mean, let's face it here. You're not here to hear me blab and drone on and make sarcastic remarks throughout the course of this. So let's start jamming. I think Sam, you had a good point when we were sort of pre-gaming. So why don't you get us off with some topics, and we'll let the conversation ebb and flow from there.
Cool. So yeah, I know a lot of these, everyone's talking about multiple offers and whatnot. I guess my biggest thing is trying to encourage people to get their house on the market now. And I guess to you guys, realtors, how are you engaging with clients to try to encourage them that now is the time? Because right now, working with buyers is a struggle for sure when there's no houses out for them. For me, I'm like constantly on the private market all day long, and it's giving me a headache thinking like I need to be the first one that sees that house on the private market or we're going to lose it. I even started networking with other photographers because they're taking photo shoots and seeing the houses first. But
Cheating.
hey, you know what? You got to do
All
it
right.
to find that house, you know? So yeah, I just encourage, I guess, if any potential sellers are out there watching this, list your house, please. There are buyers.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yeah, so I've been trying to encourage people to list. And since some of the homes are selling fast and I've had marketing materials ready, like say I've done 50 brochures, then if it sells the first or second day, I save a few of those. But then I send the brochure, which is more expensive to mail, obviously, to the neighbors and say, hey, look, this is what your neighbor's house looked like, and they got an offer really fast. I can help you fix your house up the way you want. But usually, you know, it's a postcard or something that, or they maybe have seen on the internet, but they haven't like seen the rooms. And I'm just trying to encourage them to think, well, if that house sold, certainly maybe my house could sell. So
I like that idea.
just try using up my marketing materials.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a great idea.
Absolutely. I think it is a seller's market, and I encourage it the same as you are. Whoever wants to sell and maximize their profit, probably now is the time. And in the last, because the market is changing hour by hour, I see that more people are contacting me, and I see that more listings hopefully are coming in. Definitely due to the ability of our company with the properties. You know, we have an app which we share, and a lot of properties, they don't even go in the market at the private, as you said. And also due to the Zen list, I don't know if you ever heard, with Zen list, the ability to get those properties as soon as they hit the market goes right away to the consumer. I've been fortunate on that, and it's not easy. It's not easy, especially when you deal with buyers, which, as you said, you have to be the first one thinking that you don't know what it is right, and trying to put an offer which might be $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 more, and sometimes I've seen also $90,000 more.
Yeah, the Zealous tool has definitely been helpful. I just started using that and sending that off to clients, but at the same time, has anyone noticed that when a property's on the private market and it says no showings, but then when I still will reach out and they're actually under contract, or like, I feel like there's a lot of that. I don't know if I want to call it shady or whatever, but like you put it on the private market and they're not allowing showings, but they're actually under contract beforehand. And
Well, they're actually allowing showing. I mean, private is now backed up to private before the market, then it's private, and private no showing. So it's kind of silly right now. And then a lot of them will say private, then they'll take all the multiple offers and they'll still sell it before you even got a chance for it.
Yeah, so I see that a lot. And then I've seen also people putting houses temporary off market when it's actually under contract. That's actually happened to me a couple times now. And I always thought that temporary off market meant like, we're not on market right now, but it's, I think, going the other way where they don't want to show that they're under contract.
Totally. Correct.
Oh, that one.
So I've had that happen a couple of times, and for my clients, it's very discouraging because, you know, it's.
You know, Sam, you may want to call the board,
Okay,
file a complaint. If an agent is listing on private with no showings, that means no showings.
Mhm.
And so for it to go under contract without someone actually walking through the door doesn't make sense. So I think that's one of those complaints that could be filed.
What about
I
temporary
think-
off market?
I didn't know about private off market.
No, so it's not, it's on the MLS listed, but it's, you know, like when it's active and then it's temporary off market because it's Thanksgiving or whatever. But right now they're doing it because they got a contract, but they don't want to show that it's under contract. I feel like they're doing it to.
You can't do that. I mean, that's, the
Yeah.
contract has to be submitted. I don't
Yeah.
understand it.
Yeah, I've had that happen 3 times this spring already.
Oh, yeah, don't know about that.
Yeah, that's frustrating. I feel like you're either showing it or you're not showing it when you're in the private network. And I think that was the whole reason the private network was created, was to prevent these pocket listings where people were only allowing people in their own brokerage to show it, which isn't in the seller's best interest. And now they're continuing to do that. So yeah, that's a big problem.
Mhm.
And back even, Sam, to your original thought, which was how are we going to get more buyers on the market? I even said to the inspections and cleaning people that are on here, hey, are you guys soliciting for pre-sale inspection, certain reduced price or something at their house to try and get other people to be getting people to sell their houses? So it's not just us as realtors who want them to move, but obviously some of these other service companies that are out there to encourage them. I mean, like lenders, obviously mail people, but that's why I was wondering if they all had like pre-inspection packages that they've been soliciting for buyers. We're just trying to find other ways to get buyers to think about moving.
From my insight, I don't have too many requests for a pre-inspection, but if somebody does, I always offer 2 options. The one, it's the option with the full report. I'm pretty much doing like a full inspection with the full report, or sometimes the seller wants to just know what's going on, what's wrong with the house, and they want to prepare it. So at that, I got like discounted option that where pretty much he's just walking with me through the house and just I'm telling him, hey, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, and he making notes. And he got the big discount because I don't deliver report. This is what we are.
Yeah, I'm
Good.
curious to know what the other agents in the group, how you feel on pre-market inspections. Do you recommend them or not?
Absolutely. Inspections are something I always push any time of year, because with every season, there is always some kind of pest that we're dealing with, especially in more rural areas too in DuPage County. So as part of our ongoing routine maintenance, we do inspections quarterly. So with a monitoring program, we're already ensuring our customers that they're ready to go, like under our watch, that, you know, they're not going to have a pest problem that presents itself in the process of selling. And not only that, but it's transferable to the new homeowners too. And that avoids an initiation fee and all that. So we do market to our existing customers, especially to let them know that we've got all these other offices in the Midwest in case they're moving to Northwest Indiana or they're moving from Chicago to the suburbs. You know, we cover it all. So we do market that quite a bit, but it has helped to get in touch with more realtors on a one-on-one basis to develop that relationship too, because we really, our guys, just like Gail was saying earlier, and with Warren, like that's her guy. That's, you know, if she walks into any kind of bug situation, I'm sure she thinks of him right away. So
Absolutely.
Yeah, Jackie, I used to think, I mean, in the sense of like pre-inspections, you're opening up like maybe possibly like disclosure issues and things like that, because you're finding out more about the property. I think there's a couple different things. It's like if someone has lived in the house for, 30 plus years and they really have no idea what's going on, I think that it's just safe to do a pre-inspection, not like a full blown one, but like, you know, electrical, check your attic that there's no mold, because most of the inspections that we see, they always come up, and especially younger buyers, that freaks them out that, you know, mold mitigation and all that kind of stuff. But I wouldn't have a seller like do a radon test before, because, you know, in the end, that buyer's probably going to do it. But then if it's someone that's lived in the house for 5 years, well, let's find your old inspection report and see what was on there that we can maybe work on, you know? So I think it's case by case. Or
Yeah, that's a good
I
idea.
totally agree.
yeah, or if it's like someone where they have lived in the house for a long time and they don't have the means to be paying to fix stuff, then you shouldn't be doing a pre-inspection, because now you're gonna have to disclose all this stuff. So I just think it's case by case.
Yeah, it depends on the situation, but a lot of, especially like you said, Samantha, it's if somebody lived for 30 years in the house, they just want to be prepared what the next inspection gonna find. And you know, I'm not saying that I got a lot of requests for a pre-inspection, but once in a while, yeah, it's mostly the people who lives in the house 15 years plus.
Very good. Well, I have a topic that I am curious if you guys are experiencing this. Due to the hysteria in the market, both with buyers and then sellers dealing with this intense amount of showings on their property, I've noticed the level of professionalism
Did her screen freeze or just mine?
Yeah, no,
No, hers did.
I
and
think
I've
hers did.
observed some unfriendly exchanges from agents with each other who are waiting, and then also just not being so respectful of listings while they're on showings. I don't know if anyone has experienced that.
I agree with that.
I've seen that. I also have had appointments which I was 5 minutes away and people canceled or they let us in. I don't know. I think we need a little bit better leadership on our boards, because it looks like everybody is getting in real estate for the wrong reasons, just for selling a house or doing just one transactions, and they are not guided by ethics or rules which we have been taught for. At least all of you are almost veterans, 5 years plus. It is definitely happening. It is easy to deal with all of those. I don't know any way around it. We should work together, and that is not just helping each other, but it's the benefit of the buyer and the seller. It is our duty to do that. So
I totally agree. We've been having showings that they canceled the showing at the right in the showing time. So the buyer's agents are, you know, making these showings in advance and then canceling, saying the buyer is no longer interested or the buyer canceled, but right within the time of the actual showing. And that has been very hard on our sellers. And as everyone know, they're prepping their homes or getting their pets out and that kind of a thing. Or feedback from a certain group of agents is, you know, they needed a 4th bedroom. Well, on the listing sheet, there are only 3 bedrooms. Then, you know, why did you show this house? So I agree with you, Kris. I think we need to get to the board and perhaps raise the level of professionalism somehow, ask them to help us somehow.
Yeah. I try to, with all of my listings now, really prep them on that, just because with the lower inventory and the amount of people that are going through the houses, and it's just so overwhelming on both sides of it, that I feel like, you know, no, it's not a normal time right now, right? So like you go to open houses and there are people standing outside to get in, and some sellers might be super excited, like, oh my gosh, I have all these people coming in. And then others are like, holy crap, why do I have this many people coming through my house right now? So I think it's also our job just to be very like upfront with our sellers saying, some agents are terrible at feedback. Some are, whatever, like kind of prep them for it a little bit. So then we don't always look like the bad guy. Because obviously we, share good news and bad news.
Yeah, I think setting expectations is super important too. I agree.
Yeah, and Sam,
Go ahead.
Sorry. No, to tag on that, sometimes you can't help it, or to Maureen, in the middle of the showing, because either the person didn't show up or the agent forgot there was something going on. I guess the more frustrating thing is because of Sam saying we have low inventory, you've also got agents who are they're desperate to show them anything, even if they showed them a 3-bedroom instead of a 4, if it was in the same neighborhood. They're just trying to keep that person as a buyer, keep them live. And so sometimes they take advantage of the situation. And, it's hard because you can't really set rules and say you can't come in here unless this is what you're looking for. But it's hard for to sellers to understand, why do these superfluous people come through my house when they didn't even want it?
A part of our problem is because I meet the agents every day, and the different agents, and I think a part of our problem is like big influx of brand new agents right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody thinking that real estate is hot right now, and everybody want to make millions in 2 weeks.
It's easy.
So
Chris, it is, right?
Yeah, I was an agent, so I know how it works. So recently I found that so many unprofessional agents during my inspection. I pretty much shut up during my inspection. I don't comment or anything. I'm doing my job, but it's so many new agents, which I got a home snap, so I can pretty much check every agent how many transactions they did for the last 24 months. But it's so many new agents, and I can see they're very unprofessional. So I think that part of the problem with the canceling showings and stuff like that, it's part of the problem. I know it's not the whole problem, but part of the problem is just a lot of new agents, they don't know what they're doing.
Absolutely.
What it reminds me of, when I was in the hospitality industry, I was working weddings, and everyone wanted to be a wedding planner, and everyone wanted to be a wedding planner after they did their wedding. And then as a catering manager, I was like, how long have you been a wedding planner? And they would tell me their story, and I was like, oh my gosh, please help me.
Yeah, it's especially right now, is like, I'm just repeating this story all the time, but I was at the party and there was 2 girls were talking, and then they're like, oh, we planning to have a kid. And then right now, I want to be an agent, so I can work only evenings, and maybe we can show you some homes. And then I want to be with my baby all day. So it doesn't work. And this is how the people portraying. This is how the people portraying is. Yeah, and she's in the end, she said like, oh, I don't want to sell a lot. 1-2 houses a month, it's fine. And I was laughing because I was a buyer's agent. I know how hard work it is. So
absolutely. What is happening to me lately is that many of these new agents, they have not been trained at all, and they don't have a clue. The only thing that they think it is to do, it is to open the door. I'm running an issue which almost every hour somebody calls me for a day code. They don't even have a sentry lock or whatever, and they don't know how to use a sentry lock.
Yes.
So I have to walk them through, and I have to tell them how to do it. And if they have an inspection, they don't even know how to do inspection, or who schedules, who have to stay, or whatever. So, I mean, I don't think, going back to the leadership of the board, certain things needs to be seen. And all these companies, when they hire newbies, they have to train them. I mean, it's a duty to all of us.
The 1-day code thing is crazy right now. Like, I will have people, the minute they get to the house, and like, oh, we need a 1-day code. I'm like, okay, well, that would have been helpful when you made your appointment.
I think it's some kind of mentorship program can be helpful for new agents. I know few agencies has that, but I don't think all of them, especially the smaller ones.
Yeah.
No,
I've got a question for Gary. Hey, Gary, have you seen an uptick with your sanitation services in general over the last year? I'm sure you have. It's kind of a silly question.
You know, we've been working essential from the beginning of this last year. there was a big uptick with disinfecting and sanitizing. I'd say probably from April, May, June, July, maybe about the middle of the summer, as people started to get used to wearing masks and living with COVID, it started to decline. There wasn't that urgency. So we do offer the service. And of course, commercially, businesses haven't really moved back in they're starting to move back in their offices now, but they were not moving back, until maybe about a month ago, really, or 2 months ago, trying to prep. So it has declined. We offer the service, but you don't have that real panic now that you had in those first 3-4 months.
Right.
And it goes along with people selling their homes. And a lot of times people are buying their homes, they want to get disinfecting done. As part
Gary,
of,
do you offer that when people move in their houses, that you'll clean the whole house before they move in? Is that the type of cleaning services too?
No, we don't do like a whole house cleaning, but we specialize carpet, tile, wood floors, and we can disinfect all of those, air ducts, things like that we specialize in. We can come in and do that. And we do a lot, we get a lot of clients that want to sell their homes that haven't even listed with an agent yet. They just call us. We're thinking of getting everything ready to go, and we want to get everything clean. So it's good to get to know you
That's
guys.
That's that pre-inspect clean. He's got it.
Yeah. But so we can help with all those things, or answer any questions with any of your clients about things too, or any advice that way. We're happy to accommodate. So
I didn't know you guys air ducts is crazy. I didn't know you guys did. I didn't even know. It's one of those things that gets neglected. So I didn't know you did that.
I'm calling Gary for that right after this.
I have a
Gary,
question for
since you're
Gary.
doing this in several homes, and it depends on the size of the home or cleaning or the duct work, just to have an idea, what is the ballpark of minimum start pricing? And I know it goes up so we can have an idea.
Yeah, I probably, I know we have some packages on our website, but you're talking about air duct cleaning? Yeah, air duct cleaning, usually if it's a raised ranch, you're looking anywhere between $250 and $350. A 2-story home with a basement can go anywhere between $350 and $650. It's just a range of how many vents there are. And when you get into houses that range 3,000, 4,000 square feet, that can be $1,000 to do something like that. We go down every register with our brush and vac system, so it's very thorough, and we wash all the vents. So it's very time consuming, but to do it right. So just a range there, and you're more than welcome to get my cell and always text me. Gary, I got a client that has a raised ranch, and these amount of events. We can always accommodate that right away for you. So
I will use it in my house too, so send me the information.
Absolutely. We're happy to help. Yeah, that way. Absolutely.
I have a question for you, Gary. I have an older home, Victorian home, and we had someone come to look to clean the air ducts, and they said it was like too complicated because the HVAC system or something. Is that a thing? Or
now, do you have hot water heat, or do you have forced air?
We have what are the holes in the ceiling? What are they called? I'm having a mind.
Base pack.
Yes, that's what I have.
All right, so you have
hot water heat.
You have hot water heat?
No, okay. So we actually have a furnace.
Oh, you do have a furnace.
It's very strange. I call it the money pit. It's a hot mess around here. But yeah, I don't know if it's true or not. So I might have to call you as well.
Yeah, we'd have to look and see. There are times where our system won't work on certain systems that sometimes forced airs. We had a client that had motors in her vents that would push the air through. And then we recommended the negative air system just going through the main trunk lines. I don't like that system because it pulls all the soil through all your areas where it's not soiled. But in that case, we didn't want to cause any damage to the motors. So It's just a matter of how your house is arranged. Most houses can take our system, but we would be happy to look at it for you. So,
Thank you.
oh, you're welcome.
Gary, another question. Do you do exterior concrete and paver brick bleaching or, brightening, cleaning?
Power washing.
Yeah, we don't.
No, not power washing,
Oh.
with the chemical.
Yeah, we don't do any
You don't do
bleaching
that?
or
Okay.
exterior. We can clean garage floors. We can clean,
Okay.
Polished or painted garage floors up, or basements that have smooth floors, things like that. But no exterior. Yeah, you would
Okay.
need to find somebody that specializes with that. But yeah, the bleaching somebody's got to really know what they're doing with that.
Maureen, I might have a contact for you actually.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I'll email you after this.
Good. Yeah, good.
And I will send everybody out. I'll put everybody on what are people's favorite things? An email thread with a lot of people on it. Everybody really loves those, right?
There you go.
No, but I will send everybody's email addresses so you have each other in case you want to connect after.
And Gail, what market do you primarily work?
Naperville,
Naperville.
mostly Naperville, Lisle.
Okay, great.
It's too far now. When someone calls you from South Naperville, it takes you 25 minutes to get there. So it's just as easy just to stay here. But I've been here the 32 years. So I worked District 203 and District 204 schools. Kind of go into the downtown market, then I get in the luxury market. Now I'm just kind of whatever what's ever coming my way. But I work with a lot of families and a lot of younger people in their 30s and 40s who are coming back because they want to come back to the Naperville schools with their families.
Mhm.
So I sold my daughter a house. She has 2 children. I had no idea she wanted to come back and live near her mother. But she came back, and so then all her friends, a lot of them are moving out from the city now. So it's just wonderful. I just love it.
That's awesome. Very good. And are you a solo agent or do you have?
I am individual, nope, by myself.
Okay, great.
I can't take authority from anybody. Nobody can tell me what to do.
Nice to
No,
be
it's
your
just,
own boss.
I just like to be able to manage my own time and just to be able, when I have to interface with the client, I'd rather tell them what I'm thinking, and not that Gail will get back to you. So I take that extra burden upon myself, but at least I know what the answer is or what has been communicated to the client.
Mhm. So, and Kris, where do you primarily work? I've shown some of your list before.
I have a team which we cover a lot of areas, but the office it is located in Elmhurst. Primarily over, let's say, 80% of the business it is in DuPage. The rest, if 20% goes in Cook County. I have 4 agents in the team, and the volume that I personally do myself, has been steady, between 20 to 25 million every year. So it's been a blessing on that.
Oh, sorry, you guys froze on me a little bit there.
Elmhurst has been a crazy market. I just met with an appraiser and he said that he was heading to Elmhurst for an appointment where the house that it was in multiple offers, $90,000 over. And he was like, I don't know how this is going to shake out. I'm like, I can't even imagine. Like, that's just insane to me.
The loan officers and these mortgage companies, we thought we were going to have a problem, but it is not happening. So everything is appraising. A lot of properties, I mean, you meet somebody in the street and you just throw a word. Do you want to sell your house for 100,000 more? And guess what happens? They say, oh, if you can do that, please do.
But why Elmhurst? Like, I mean, it's great. I mean, all these towns are great. It's so nuts to me.
Absolutely. But I was in Naperville where Gail was. It is literally in 2 days, 101 showings. I told my clients, if you want this house, you have to offer over $60,000. And they looked at me like I was nuts. And the next day, the offer was much more than that. So somebody else took it anyway. Naperville is crazy as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it is all over the place. It is all over the place. And what I see a lot of people now, and some of my sellers too, they are overpricing the houses, believe it or not, between $50,000 to $100,000. And instead of saying no, I mean, you want the listing, definitely want the listing. You don't want to let it go because maybe in 2 weeks it's not going to sell, but in a month it's going to.
What are you guys saying to your buyers, like prepping them to before you go out to kind of tell them that whatever this list price is, like you said, you know, you told your buyers $60,000 over and they're just like, wow, you know? Are you having a conversation before with them?
The way how I explain it to my buyers, it is just be prepared for anything. What the market price it is this, what I think, which I don't know if I'm right or not. And this is the COVID prices. So there are totally two different things. So COVID prices are taking over and there is no right or wrong on that.
From the listing agent perspective, Sam, we really appreciate when that buyer's agent gets their buyers in first and then is ready with the contract and writes the contract and has all the information.
All the docs, right?
All the docs, including, you know, those letters to the seller, they really do work nicely. It doesn't have to be that gushy, but, you know, something like, we really appreciate what you've done with your home, la-di-da, we're coming out from the city, that kind of a thing. But if you're all ready, packet is ready, right in to go, we appreciate that. And I know the sellers too, they look upon that as first person in the door, you know, maybe that's a sign.
I just started adding cover letters because there was an offer where I had that we put in and they had 22 offers. And I'm like, how are they going to go? It's just so many. And so I did a whole cover sheet, like what you would do for like a resume, outline everything, because I can't even imagine going through. How many, like, Maureen, have you had like something crazy where you've had that many offers that you're filtering through on any of your listings?
Oh yeah, I mean, probably every listing has had multiple offers this year.
What's the most that you've had at one time?
Oh, good question. 20. We've never had the 101 showings. We've never had that because we've shut it down. You know, if we're getting that many showings, then we just shut it down and go for the offer. Even if it's one offer, just work with that buyer. You know, if you had that many showings, it might be, you know, I don't know, something's up. But yeah, it's crazy. But as a buyer's agent, if you're prepped with your buyers and you have everything ready, you'll have more of a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely is not the time to work with buyers that are not pre-approved or not just shuffling the market.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, like if I have buyers, let's say if their price point is up to $350, I've been telling them, like, sometimes we can't even look at those 350 houses because we're going to have to go over our list price, and they wouldn't be able to push it. So I know that's been a little discouraging for buyers as well.
And I found out that's what I needed to do is I had 450 buyers and they kept looking at 450 and then losing it. So I said to them, go down to 420, 430, see what you can find. And then you're going to have to use your extra money that you're qualified for to be able to put in and get that house. So I had them lower their expectations a little bit price wise, but then they were able to compete. And 2 or 3 of them were able to get the property because they didn't use up all their funds, right? They started at a lower base and then added to it when they had to compete.
Yeah, I'm usually pretty evenly split between buyers and sellers just in general with my business. But for the last couple months, I've been more buyer heavy, just as a coincidence. And so it's been super frustrating and stressful because you know you have to be one of the first ones through the door. You have to make yourself available whenever the buyer, you know, sees something they like. But as compared to the past, when you're in a multiple offer, you can't just use 1 or 2 strategies to win multiple offers. You have to use everything in your wheelhouse to come out on top. So that's just been something I've been explaining to my buyers up front. We talk about multiple offer strategies before we even go out looking. And so they're prepared and they know that you have to be aggressive.
How do they feel, Jackie, about when you tell them you have to go in as is?
Yeah, so I have had some not comfortable with that because I've had a handful of first-time buyers and a few of them weren't comfortable with that, but I do have 2 under contract right now where we did have to be as is, and it ended up working out okay.
Yeah.
But they just have to prepare themselves that they're not buying a new house, they're buying a used house, and they need to be prepared that they have to put in a little bit of money to fix it up after they close. So.
Yeah.
Well, and that's another reason why I was talking before about all aspects of the house having a pre-inspection. That sometimes if you offer that up, you can sell your house as is and get more money because buyers will compete in the market, and then they can drop that home inspection, aspect to it. So there's all different ways you're going to have to go about and figure out how much money, how much cash you're going to have to bring to closing to make sure that it closes. So we have a different market that we're working with right now.
Yeah, from my experience, it's I'm pretty much I would say probably 70% of my inspection is as is. People buying as is, but they still want to do inspection. They still want to know what's going on with the house. Most of the inspection I'm doing, it's because they always telling me, hey, it's as I just want to let you know that's as is, but we still want to know what's going on with the house.
Mhm.
Personally, I don't sell any, I don't like to sell anything as is. I give the buyer the option, but I definitely suggest them to do the inspection. And it depends how strong they would love this house or not. And after they see what the issues are, it is up to them to decide if they want to pursue or not. Definitely, I've seen more waiving appraising, which is crazy. But as is, definitely I see it. I don't recommend it because you never know what you're going to find. And it might come and burn us all in the meaning of finding issues which nobody knows. And they are going to say, you suggested this, I suggested this, or whatever it is. So personally, I don't suggest to buy a house as is. What I've seen in the last 6 months, all my buyers, and I'm sure it have happened to all of you guys, everybody, let's say, like Samantha said, 350. Everybody now is looking at 400, 450. I don't know where the money is coming from, but everybody's looking $100,000 to $200,000 more because you definitely cannot find whatever they were looking a year ago.
I think an important fact of as is that you can still have your home inspection, and if there is a deal breaker in there, you can kind of,
Back out, yeah.
figure it
Still
out.
ask.
Yeah.
Or yeah, negotiate from there.
Definitely.
I'm always explaining people, especially the first-time home buyers, because I think this is the big group where the people coming into the house and they don't know about the process, they don't know what to expect. And you have to just set them up before inspection. You have to tell them, listen, this is the house. We're gonna find something for sure. We're looking for more like major things, but you're gonna have a list of the minor issues, which is like every house has it. And also you have to just calm them down, because if you tell them that, hey, water heater, it's 12 years old, it's old, and so most of them gonna jump and it's like, oh my God, it's water heater, I have to buy a new one. But if you tell them that it's just like $800, $1,000 to change it, even if it stopped working, usually they work a little bit more, they just calm them down completely, and like, oh, it's only $1,000. Oh, okay, it's not that bad. So I think you have to set them up on the very beginning that you're gonna find something, and they just usually, not always, but once in a while you get like buyers in a panic. It's pretty much every scratch on the wall. It's just big thing for them. But and it's no matter what you do, you cannot calm them down. But it's just most of them, they're like, oh, okay, no problem.
I think, let me do this. You guys cool taking a screenshot? That's actually not a question. We're going to take a screenshot. Whether you smile or not, that's up to you. So give me 2 seconds here and I will pre-frame it with this. Please do not be like my children and hold it for a second and then stop. So when you see me stop smiling, then you stop smiling. Okay, ready? Set, 3, 2, 1. I think we might have nailed that in the first time. Let me see. I think everybody looks genuinely happy right there too. No, that's good. That may or may not be in a future issue of DuPage Real Producers. I don't know. I might know a guy who can possibly make that happen. Also, too, I want to throw this out there. I really don't do a lot of plugs or any plugs, but I get asked this question a lot. Hey, do you guys have like an online or a digital version? And some of the realtors don't even know this because we launched this in the summer and we really don't promote it. It's just something kind of cool to have access to. So I will frame it with this. Currently it is free. We're not charging for it. I encourage people to download it. So if they do start charging for it, you'll already have it on your phone or tablet and you'll be grandfathered in. We have an app. It's called DigiPub. Can everybody see that okay right there?
Mhm.
This is our April cover. Spoiler alert right here. So if it's DIGA, P as in Paul, U as in umbrella, B as in boy. And all you got to do, Google, Apple Play, go there, download it, choose Illinois, choose DuPage Real Producers. We actually have obviously a market in Chicago and then one in North Shore as well. And then on that, you can access all the Real Producers markets in the country. You know, the platform, the hard copies, most people know this, but just to be clear, like the hard copy only goes to the top 500 producing agents based on closed production in DuPage County. And so it's very targeted, it's very local. So if you're receiving a hard copy of DRP, congratulations. It's like a badge of honor, you know, arrow in your quiver. So those are really my only two, you know, plugs. That DigiPub. I guess today was apparently sponsored by Janelle, Woytec, and Gary. You guys didn't even know that. But no, we got probably what we got probably 5-10 minutes or so. So I mean, we can kind of wrap it up with final thoughts. I mean, I love the points about setting expectations in the sense of, hey, if you're looking for something in the $500,000 range, look for something, and you know, realistically look for something in the 440, 450 range. I'm just curious, like, is there like a set and this is more directed to the realtors because you guys are in the field, but is there any like set ballpark maybe percentage of you know, margin that's applicable? Is it just sort of all over the board, like depending on the city or the area? Does that question make sense? Like if you're looking for something 450 or 500, you should be looking for something 10% less or 15% less because you know it's going to get hiked up at offer time. Does that make sense?
It's all over the board. I would say like houses that are in like smaller price points, like I feel like those are the ones that fly off the shelves, I guess you would say. Like if you're looking at like that 350 to even
350 to 550 probably.
That's sweet spot. That's I was going to ask, what's the sweet spot? So
yeah.
550.
Yeah, 350 to 550. And I feel like when I first started in real estate, it was like anything between like 250 and 350, and that's like unheard of. Like there's not, you can't buy anything at that price point anymore. So it's crazy to see how it's changed just in a short period of time.
Yeah, based on the numbers that I've seen, and probably depends on the area, since 95, the properties in some areas are double or double and a half. So more than 120% appreciation. So in real estate have proven, it is proven that it is the best investment ever.
It is, and you're not just saying that. I know it is.
One other topic that's been relevant for me, but we didn't talk about it yet, was people doing virtual showings and attempting to put in sight unseen offers. And I'm very against that, but I have seen it happen and backfire. Obviously, when the buyers actually see it, they're like, oh, this didn't come across the way that I felt
happened to me
on the virtual showing.
Yeah. I had a listing right in the area, and what was funny, they didn't even tell me that it was a virtual one. So
Mhm.
I didn't even know that the buyers weren't like, how, I mean, how if you're not meeting them there. And they came for their inspection, and sure enough, they didn't want it had nothing to do with inspection issues or anything. And that's when it was kind of noted that they weren't there before.
Yep, I had the exact same thing happen. Yeah.
Definitely, it's not easy. In my experience, I have solved like 3 homes, if I'm not mistaken, virtual tour. They were people from California moving in Elmhurst and in DuPage. They didn't have the means because also the flights were very scarce back then.
Right.
So,
Right.
but it wasn't an easy process. It's not that I promote it, but I was able to get it done. It is one of the toughest one because basically, the video cannot show everything, but they rely in your judgment and your eyes.
Yeah. I think it also, like, I've done them too on the buy side. And if they know the area and they know what they're looking for, I think that also helps a lot. Rather than, someone that doesn't know anything about that spot. You can only share so much. They need to have that feeling when they come into that neighborhood.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah.
Yeah, virtual showings can be a double-edged sword. At least that's my kind of consensus, because your expectation could be here, you get in the place, and then it's so. Final thoughts? I mean, I think that's a good stopping point.
No, thank you. Thanks for setting this up so that we could all interface. I think Gary's going to get some cleaning jobs. Woytec's going to get some inspections, and Janelle's going to pick up some pest control. And I enjoyed meeting all the other agents, some of whom I knew before, but thank you for putting this together.
Yeah, these are fun. So if you are interested in getting on another one of these, actually, I'm going to cut the live feed in 3, 2. All right, stop live stream. Okay, live feed's gone. We're not on Facebook anymore. But I appreciate everybody carving the hour out. If you want to get on another one of these, maybe next month, maybe in June, let me know. We've been running these. I've been running these in the city since like May, June of last year. And so it's just kind of nice to get different faces, different perspectives. And the thing I love about these is the market always changes. And so a jam session now is going to look way different than one will in July. So we can always shuffle the deck, get different realtors, get different partners on them. But yeah, I will send a follow-up email out to everybody. And I'm going to stop